safe and removed. You never get hung up. Never.
The poems I'm going to read tonight, most of them were inspired by the Poetics and Politics of Water series that we had in Tucson earlier this year, in which we had readings by Ophelia Zepeda, Sherwin Bitsui, Simon Ortiz, Natalie Diaz. So I was really struck and moved by those writers and wrote poems in response. This first one is titled Thunder, Salt, and Rain. And this is in response to the poet Ophelia Zepeda. Even from the desert, I can taste its salt, can smell its trace in the rain, and track the path of the ocean rounding the curve of my cheek. Desert survival, one learns to greet the ocean in all its manifestations with kisses. Rain or salt, one of them will have to go one day. Salt or rain, one day, all of them will have to go. Thunder, rain, and salt returning to the ocean and returning again to shape the earth. One learns the value of a quiet word in prompting ears to listen, to hear the value of a quiet song, prompting the hammering heart to peace, and to the thudding of its rhythms into the resonant earth. Thunder was once only a voice, only the voice of something other, some other thing, with a voice as big as the sky. One learns subtle mechanisms, the subtlety of wings of electric light, the muffled draping of sheets of rain laid upon the earth. And if any of you have met Simon Ortiz, you know that he's very moving. And in response to his visit, I actually wrote a triptych. So I wrote a series of 3 poems, and I call them the Volition Triptych. The first one is titled Volition 1, Water Like Sky. It says, watch and learn, and so I do. And I reveal my mirrors. I reflect like water, like sky. On the shimmering tops of blue-black wings, that crow reflects silvered sky, reveals in its mirrors a name for the sky. Reflection calls a thing what it calls itself, and fills a vessel in whatever shape it has declared itself to be, like water, like sky. And it is always bigger than I expect it to be. That crow ripples on a rising beam of air, tumbles and pours from one way to another, like water, like sky. It says, break and turn and do it free. Nothing is lost if you learn to hold it lightly. Take the shape, press yourself into it, and then turn it loose. You don't have to know everything, and this is a mystery, but it's a small one. You ain't filled with the Spirit. Know that it's you, like water, like sky, moving in the shape of your own self. And then that crow says, shine, you fool, and so I shine. Volition 2, Saltwater. West of here and east of there, half the face of the earth clings to a shapeless blanket of salt water. There's an ocean of salt water over there, with waves crashing as white as milk, crumbling against shores and hollow hulls of ships bobbing, water breaking and churning against itself, stirring a ponder at what pluck we muster to give it all a name, to keep calling it all one little name, all that heavy dominion, all that volition. Volition 3, Crow Careen. With a low-slung careen of black wing, black beak, and black eye, a slip and flaps, flashing and black, as bright as snaps, a crow swoops deep from the thrift store roof. And then, billowing upward, like a wind-flung flag, a man hoists half his body through a passenger side window, reaching with 2 arms and 10 fingers splayed wide for a sweep of black feathers rising. We smile at each other, him and me, and at that strange reflex to reach up. Come here, Crow. Come and ask me, what are you reaching for here, Ian? And let me tell you, I'm naming myself. This is volition. I'm naming me, moving me. Thank you. And this piece I wrote in response to Natalie Diaz's visit. And it's titled, The Verbs. She asks, what are the verbs of love? Says something like, identity sometimes is a collection of scars, meaning maybe sometimes I know me by what has been done to me. Speaks of wary love, grown in the wordless shade of tenderness and violence. From this page, I can hold him closest. From here, where the river goes through, where a name is not what I call myself, it is what and who I am. Sometimes the changes to a river's course are a collection of scars. And what are you telling me when you say, I am lost to the eye? I am close to the eye. I am lost to the eye here. I am closest to the eye there. And who has an answer for the desert beyond survival? In some languages, there is no need to make a sentence of the words I plus love plus you. No need for saying when there is doing. In some languages, there is no need to make a sentence of the words I plus am plus sorry. No need for saying when there is doing. Imperfectly, tenderness and violence are ways of doing. Neither asked for, neither earned, nor deserved. I think the verb for love is to know. Thank you. And as Melanie mentioned, I'm from Memphis, born and raised, and have been in Tucson for about eight years now. And I long for Memphis, although I know I can never go there and be who I am again. So recently, Memphis has been finding its way into my work. And this is a piece that I wrote as a tribute of sorts to Memphis. It's titled, Memphis, Heartbeat with a Fist. Heartbeat with a fist, I know I can never, 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 never go back. Turn my back, turn my face from home. Memphis, don't die. Memphis, don't die. I dream still of westward travel, but still in Memphis, I am still, so still. Seems like everything but my heart, a chambered drum for churning river water, and it beats like a fist against the side. 2 thumps just then, did you hear it? It sounds like don't die. In westward travel dreams, I see mountains. Still, I only know to orient myself in terms of the distance from that river. The river city, Memphis, don't die. I am so far from home, and I wonder who I will be when I see myself there again. How far can I go before I circle the globe, and I am there again in Memphis, don't die. I have 2 dead grandfathers, heartbeat with a fist in that dirt, damn it, Memphis. And every time I go home, Memphis, you are more monochrome and groaning at the fit, Memphis, at the effort to fit me. Don't draw me if you won't hold me, but don't die. Memphis, no one sees this map, your unruly grid pounding in my code. Heartbeat with a fist, it sounds like don't die. Memphis, don't die. Thank you. And the last piece I'll read for you tonight is maybe the most difficult. This I wrote in response to Sherwin Bitsui's reading in his visit, in which he shared a bit about his grandfather. And I lost my grandfather not too long ago, and really had a hard time even allowing myself to think about that. And something about Sherwin's visit offered me an inroad. And so this piece is written in response, and it's to my grandfather. Grandfather, a dialect of water. I had one who fished rivers through the night, who wept river water when he said his prayers. My hand on his big-knuckled heart, he would say, cry with me. This is baptism. Walk with me, he would say. Immerse your heart, not your head. I had one who was the colors of the earth, who was all of its crimson clay, blues and gray. This is Mississippi River mud, he would say. Each color in its turn, turning the earth, and earth's engine churning days and years into the color of his hair, and into the deep shade of earth's wet bridges when his lost hair began to return. Pray with me, he would say. Grandchildren, I pray for you every day. Long of days, grandfather, I want to know the water memory loosening a heavy tether in your voice. I had one who grew his hair long and thick, as wavy as a seaport rolling down his back, who had a story about the flood that saved him and killed him both in the same night. Grandfather who knows the ways of water and the ways of beauty, I want to know, how do you keep a river rising and surging like this? And why does it overflow you in these tears? Come and see me, he would say. Watch the rain. Whisper it down from the clouds. Let the thunder soften you toward quiet. Sit with me, he would say. Grandfather of open spaces and tall trees, long of memory, long of lung, long of days, sunlit and full of rain. How should I plant this seed, I want to know? Put it in the dirt and it will grow, he would say, and keep it there until something becomes something more. I want to know, grandfather, why are we unbraiding toward the water's edge? And wait, please, I have something more to say. I had one who rose at times with the haste of a flood rising, and who at others lingered like the stretch and stillness of a long drought. Speak the ways of water to me, grandfather. Speak seasons for healing and tempering, like flood following drought, following flood. I had one who knew balance and reasons for unbalance, of seeds and seasons, of reaping and then returning. And then I had one who grew quiet and waited in the flickering light. I am here at the riverside, standing, sustaining a single note of your song. I am waiting with you for the story to emerge. Grandfather, sit with me. Tell me, I want to know what is over there. Let me look at you, he would say. River banks are not meant to hold. Cry with me, walk with me. Thank you.